Hello. I was blaming YouTube. It was actually me. As usual. So welcome. Ariane is here. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Rosie. Yeah, we're gonna paint a portrait. Today, I don't have a reference photo. I took a sketch from here. So I took this, sketch from, I think it was a session with Dylan that, I think he was drawing these old photos or something like that. So usually when I need, I am here. Hi, Linda. So usually when I need like a reference photo, hold on. There's like a helicopter. That was a helicopter. So usually when I need a reference photo...
Ben je aan het streamen?
Wat zeg je?
Ben je aan het streamen?
Ja, ik ben aan het streamen.
Of hier.
Of you. I already know this is gonna be like the live stream from Chaotic Hell. When I need a reference photo, I go to Unsplash. And it used to be this place where people would dump all their like failed photos, so kind of like the photos when you do a shoot or whatever. You always shoot too many photos, especially when you shoot digital. And so the stuff that you don't put out to clients, you would sometimes put it on Unsplash, and it would be really cool photos because sometimes they would be a little bit quirky. You know, there would be like different facial expressions and whatever, because, you know, photo mishaps. But lately it's become more like Adobe stock, and I just find it really boring. And so I had to come up with something. Who's here? Hi, Jade. I'm switched. Let me get my reference photo up and then we can go. Cool. I prepared my paper with raw umber and a little bit of, oh look, I got my thingy of solvent-free gel open with like a giant wrench type of tool. Yes. I have a palette that I don't know why I'm lacking camera space, but yeah, that's just how it is. So I got it here. I'm gonna put it in my hand, but I have ultramarine blue, raw umber, permanent alizarin crimson, I think, yellow brown, which is a mix by Old Holland, and white. Right, Linda? Like, no, I keep doom scrolling and I just, no, like nothing vibes. And, yeah, well. I'm a little bit like, all over the place. I'm also, I decided to stand because, I'm a little bit all over the place. So this, it's not really a reference photo, is it? this sketch, I kind of liked it. I need to ask Dylan, like, because he had this, I don't know if it was a book or a website with all these old photos that are like in the public domain. I need that. Doom scroller here too. Unsplash before my time, yeah, maybe. It didn't last very long, though. But they also, like, Unsplash was free for a long time, and now they have Unsplash Plus, which is a paid section. And I don't object against paying for photos, because I do that all the time, and I did it with Adobe, and like it's fine, except you kind of, when they start doing that, you start seeing a shift in like the content, and that is a shame. It was a book of old mugshots. Yeah, it was that. I need that book. We all need that book. Yeah, we need to let Unsplash be like Unsplash and just get the damn book with the mugshots and whatnot. It sounds good. Is Pexel still around? I don't know, actually. Maybe we should all check out Flickr again. That used to be, like, awesome. Yeah, so the museum app, the last time I checked, which I will admit was like a decade ago, that was an Apple thing. Like, you could only get it, I remember that because I remember Unsplash being an alternative for the museum app. And I have an Android phone. But if it is now available for, like, desktop is also fine. Like, I have an iMac and what do you call it? The laptop. What's the laptop called? The MacBook. The MacBook. Pexels is still around. Cool, I might check that out. Do I need a palette knife? Meh. I can't find my notes from the last Zoom. What was the oil paper brand? Again, it was Consom. I will put it in the chat. Yeah. I find it pretty affordable, actually. I love the sketch, thank you. I need some lighter colors. I might get a palette knife. See if we can mix that on camera. Kind of remember this photo having quite a bit of contrast. Like there was a lot, I think it was outside, maybe in the sun or something. I saw a video on Instagram about practicing sketching with a palette knife only, and he was doing pretty cool. It gets you better at mixing and blocking. Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet. That sounds cool. I did a portrait class years ago, mainly using pieces of cardboard to paint with. And it is amazing. Like what I like about cardboard is that, you know, you can cut it. It's also kind of cheap. Like if you're broke, it's perfect. And you can cut it in all kinds of shapes and sizes. And it's amazing how far you can get with just that tool. Yeah, the cardboard was fun. Like, it was... Should I have put in the eyes? Maybe I should put in the eyes first. The cardboard was kind of my jam for a while. Do you color the cardboard? No, it's just raw. Like, you gotta make sure there's no ink on it. That there's no ink on it, because it's gonna give off ink. So it's just a raw cardboard, and when you start working with it, it'll automatically get paint on it and sort of laminate itself, you know, sort of close itself off, so you don't have to throw them away. I got a whole drawer of cardboard pieces that are like 5-6 years old that, you know, you can still use once they're painted. It was acrylic paint. I gotta start with that. So it was acrylic paint. Like if you do that with oil paint, you can still let them dry. It's going to take a long time. All right, but with acrylic paint, it's really, it's a really nice way to work. I'm going to put in the eyes a little bit here. Were you the teacher? Yeah, I think it was, oh Lord, what was it? Maybe it was Paint Your Heart and Soul. I can't remember. I took my courses down for a little bit from my website because I'm doing all kinds of weird stuff, but I put it on my website for a while. It was called Perception. It was the lady with the shortish hair. What am I talking about? Anyways, yes, I was a teacher. Linda knows what I mean. Yeah, it was a fun class. Like, it's a bit old. If I would watch it now, I would probably be a little bit embarrassed, but it was still, like, cool, I guess. I saw someone, it was probably on Instagram as well recently, who also did like oil paint with cardboard, and then you know the corrugated cardboard with the little ridges, so you kind of create the sort of ribbed texture. And I thought, yeah, why not? Because you know I think I talked about this a little bit like every damn time, but when I started painting with oil paint, I was so very like I felt like I had all these rules I needed to follow, and then I dropped all my sort of fun creative things. Like I did a lot of fun stuff like cardboard. And now I'm kind of starting to think, yeah, can I not do that with oil paint? Like, who cares, right? New class update. Yeah, maybe should. Yes, that is a great idea. If I don't forget, I'm gonna write it down. Do an updated. Cardboard craziness. I'm just gonna make this, like I have this really light color, and I'm just gonna make it a little bit darker. Portrait in an hour. I was planning this like month. If you know me, you know this is not gonna last, right? Like I will crank out February because if I want to make it to the end of the year, I don't know, there's got to be some kind of reward for that. So I planned the topics for the live streams, and then I was you know, like, okay, live stream tonight, what am I gonna do? And then I opened up YouTube Studio and I was like, why is there a thumbnail and a title and a description? And I kind of forgot that I already planned it and planned the subject and everything. I was like, portrait in an hour? Who the hell came up with that? Well, me. So I guess we just gotta run with it. All right, let's put some fluids in my mouth. How is everyone doing this week? How are y'all doing? Tell me nice things and stuff, because I'm just perpetually pissed off. Deleted the news app from my phone. That's only gonna help for like 2 weeks, but I'll take it. You crack me, yes. You gotta laugh, right? You gotta laugh about it. Well, this is a bit light. That's the thing I like about charcoal. Like, it's just instant contrast. Where's my... Everyone was... hold on. I'm trying to do things more offline. Cool. Everyone was talking about an analog here, and it sounds so nice. It kind of does. Lots of noise in our street. So I'm wide... Ooh. Oh, construction. Oh. Yeah, that must be rough on you. Like... They're doing construction here in my apartment building because the balconies and whatnot are no longer structurally sound, and I'm having thoughts that I don't want to have. Like, seriously. But for you, it must be even harder. What was I gonna do? Maybe some green-ish. I had to step away from the news and read the comics. Yes, ma'am. Comics are great. Like, I watch Star Trek reruns whenever I'm, like, disappointed in the world. I'd like to think that one day we will fly to the stars and realize that, you know, we're all human and whatnot. And then fight the Klingons because, you know, apparently you gotta fight something if you're human, but... Journal, sketch, read physical books, yes. Write letters, go out with friends. Yep. Yeah, the balconies were in the news. Like, I live in the most obscure little town in a street that is only known for, like, the giant apartment buildings. And then we got on the national news, and I was like, and then people started calling me. It was hysterical. People started calling me and texting me like, oh my God, did you hear about the balconies? And I'm like, yes, girl, I know. I got a letter. Yes, can we get to that level like start? Yes, please. Yes. Yeah, we need some, Star Trek level humanity. Josephine is here. Hi. Watching me. Welcome. Cute. That's really nice. I was talking to my husband. I think the world's better off with more women leading. Yeah. I don't know when. I think a week ago or something I was talking. I don't know. I was talking to someone about this topic exactly, but like more like the opposite, because I used to think 20 years ago, I used to think that any woman in charge would be better than any man, right? Like the worst woman would never be as bad as like the worst. I don't even know how to say this, but you know what I mean. Like, so I was all pro like replace them all with women if women would rule the world, etc. Now we got a bunch of ladies. I don't know. You probably don't know the Dutch government, but the Dutch government will rip that illusion right out of you. I have never seen so many stupid bitches in one government. Oh my God. So women, no thank you. We got that lady in Italy, like shoot me for real. And then I don't even want to talk about the United States, but I am over women, I am over men, and I'm just apparently generally over people. So can we please just have like Jean-Luc Picard or something in charge? I did like Voyager, by the way. Like I do like a good lady captain. You went to look in the cardboard last year? Really? Damn, I did so many things. I do so many things I don't remember. I do need to focus for a little bit, by the way, because I don't know what this is. All right. What? Yeah. So what has happened to a majority of women? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really easy to say, all right, these people are better because, you know, when they're not in a position, that makes them problematic, right? If you're a woman or a person of color and you've never been in a position where you're, you know, allowed or where it's easy for you to be in power, then there are also no women popping up that abuse that position of power. So it's very easy to think that women are not corrupted by power, or that women can't be psychopaths or narcissists or just assholes, you know, because you're just not confronted with it. And now we're painfully confronted with it. Which in no way, by the way, am I saying that now women should suddenly not be in power. Like, it's not it doesn't take anything away from feminism and like fighting for equality. It's just, it's the position of power, I think, that is problematic. And the fact that people with these personality disorders are attracted to those positions. And I think that is a very gender neutral issue. Gonna focus a little bit on this other eye and then catch up on the comments. It is remarkably hard to make something, I noticed this before, to kind of make something out of this weird, undetailed charcoal sketch. Speaking of nice, I met the woman that plays Jay. Oh my god, I heard she is so cool. I made a painting once, a digital painting, of a screenshot from an episode of Voyager. And somebody in America bought it for me and took it to, I don't know, maybe Comic-Con or something where she was, and she had it signed by her, and she said that was the coolest painting she ever saw. And I was like, yes, thank you. That was the coolest moment in my life, and I wasn't even there, right? It was also in a time when you couldn't really film anything with your phone, so, but it's still a great memory. Yes, it literally, yes, it has been, there's like evidence of that. Like it's a problem. Yeah. Can we also just for a moment appreciate this, look, this is a alizarin crimson. I'm gonna get the tube and then disappoint you. Look how nice that is. So basically what it is, it's kind of like a warmer, it sits a little bit in between cadmium red and transparent red iron oxide. It's quite warm, but it's not as orangey as transparent red iron oxide. And it's much, much warmer than like magenta. But here's the pigment number. If anyone wants to Google, it is PR206. So that's PR206. And it's a color by Sennelier. And I don't think I've been able to find like the exact paint in a different brand. So I don't know if there's a problem with the pigment or if it's just not like available anymore. I'm not really sure. But it's really nice. I feel like PR206 is, yes. So yes, exactly that. Like, is there a reason? Maybe it's like the industrial use is just nil or something, and so the pigment is gone. Iceland has some good, oh yeah. Jacinda Ardern was from New Zealand, right? She got a lot of shit. Wow. Like whenever you got a good female leader, oh my. They get so much shit. The same as, you know, what's her name from Germany? The German Bundeskanzler. Oh, everybody was whining about her outfits. Like, can you shut up? Like, no man ever gets criticized for his outfits. Stop buying boring colored cars. Yes, exactly that. Like, for real though. What kind of hat is here? I don't know. I don't know. I think it was a lady, by the way. And I think it was one of those, like, felted caps. The sort of bucket shaped, felted with a little, yeah, like that. Right, that's a really great explanation. A bucket head. It was felt, I think. It does look a little bit like a turban. Yeah, it does. That would also be. Those things, by the way, if they're like the Pakistani ones, and I think also the ones from India, they're so difficult to paint because you got all those folds like folding into each other. Oof. I used to have a bright orange back in the day. Cool. Linda had a sport car. That is just, I don't know why that totally makes sense. Like, I'm here like, yeah. I used to play Need for Speed, which is a computer game, and just deck out my cars like crazy and just drive around the hood for no reason because I really sucked at racing. I suck at gaming in general. So I would just spend evenings decking out my cars. I love gaming, but I suck at it. Yeah, man. It's just how it is. It does help though when I was like living alone. I kind of noticed that I just like playing games in a different way, and it's not the sort of common way or the way that it's, you know, like advertised. Like gaming is a male industry, right? So it's really geared towards what a lot of men like, and not all men and not all women, but most of them. And I notice it with my son, like he gets really, it relaxes him to do really exciting, aggressive stuff and like win. Even if he loses, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go back and win, and it sort of relaxes him. And for me, what I also noticed a lot with gaming is that afterwards, either I get very, very angry, like emotional angry, you know, where you start throwing controllers around, or I would get really sad. And there are very simple biological explanations for that, except they weren't available to me at the time. And so, yeah, I just stopped gaming for a while. And then when I had my own apartment, I wasn't living with anyone, I just started playing like Assassin's Creed, and I would just walk around and steal shit. That's all I did. Like climb trees and buildings and steal shit at the end. You have a sensible car now for your baby Gretchen. Yes, yes. Yeah, Need for Speed is nuts. You can drive around like a populated town 100, 150 miles an hour, it doesn't really matter, and people will still jump away if you try to hit them. Like it's that kind of game. It's really cool. What time is it? Oh. Girl is looking sad, but kind of like it. find the most difficult thing in the world is getting undetailed eyes right, because you're seeing eyes in like every shape that you make. I was running around the game putting graffiti. Cool, yeah. Sadder than the drawing, yeah. Paint, you know. It's the paint factor, I think. Right, what do we need? Before my 1 hour portrait. Why tiny brush? So we did the Zoom meeting, when was it? Friday, I think. There were a lot of people. I did not expect that. It was fun. There were a lot of people. Kind of like that mouth shape. Let's make it even sadder. Just make everything very sad. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Kind of like that. I'm glad you like it too, Kelly. I'm gonna, let's see, wash this a little bit. And then maybe finish with a little bit of dark purple. I imagine her carrying heavy shopping and feeling too hot in her coat. Yeah, that's kind of cool. But since she is possibly from a book with mugshots, I will imagine her carrying heavy bags with stolen or maybe like groceries under a really thick coat while it's summer out. That will always get the police on you quickly. I knew a guy once who worked at a clothing store, or like a big one, you know, like, I don't know, maybe for Americans, I don't know what it is for Americans. I only know Walmart or something, but like that size, but then for clothes. And he would work there and then sort of claim some inventory for himself. And he would put it on under a giant winter coat, but he would do it in the middle of summer. Now, it's not particularly hot here in the summer, but boss was like, I don't think you're that size. It was kind of funny. Oh, Ariana, can I talk about your museum project? Because I think the opening is like next week. I just finished reading The Briar Club and she reminds me of the character Rika. Ooh, I might look that up. Yes, I can talk about it. So now I'm going to talk about it. So Ariana has a painting, which is really cool, in a show in a museum in a town here in the Netherlands, which is very, very cool. They're going to do a show with amateur artists. So what they refer to amateur artists as people who don't consistently like make money off their art or portray themselves online as being professional. So it's not like it doesn't say anything about like the level or anything, if anyone might think that. And you have a portrait about COVID, long COVID. But the whole like setup of the show is so interesting. Let's just try a little bit of yellow, see how that works. Cool. Ho ho. 4 minutes to go. Got my hour portrait. I love the idea of this show. They will do 2 more after this. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, that's really, you know, the whole connection between museums in general and the people that visit them, I feel like they got more close to each other. And I think a part of it has to do, I don't know if it's the same in other countries, but I feel like here in the Netherlands, they kind of had to make that happen because there was at some point a decline in visitors, right? And so they started, and this was really great, they really started doing things to make it accessible to people, but also showing things that people want to see instead of what they have in the basement or in the archive, or the stuff that we all know. So I think it's nice to see how that sector kind of proved itself to be a little bit fluid, a little bit flexible. Because it sure did have a reputation, especially here in the Netherlands. I started painting my second version. Oh, cool! Did you get a reference photo, like the reference photo that you wanted? Because I know you were looking for one. It's gonna be cool. I will share if I think it's good. No, share it if it's not good enough. Share it on the maybe on the Zoom art club. Or not if you don't want to. I'm gonna post the schedule on for February, like with the Zoom calls and whatnot, and the live streams. I think on Friday. I'll have it done on Friday. Sometimes, by the way, I just randomly shout at Kelly, or in this case Ariana, to show me shit on camera. I hope I was kind of overthinking that. Like, I don't necessarily mean that. Like, I mean it, but I don't want it to come off as if you have to do as I say, because you don't. So we're all, like, in the Zoom calls and everything, we're all cool and all good. I'm gonna make a separate page for it on my website and on, like, social media, because last time there were a lot of people, and I really appreciate that. Elisa did, like, my co-hosting stuff, like letting people in. But yeah, I also feel like maybe we need to specify the boundaries of that space, because I am definitely not an all-inclusive person. There is shit that I don't tolerate, and I am definitely not. I don't want to create a community online or on Zoom with the motto that art, can do whatever the hell it wants. It can, just not in my community. All right, so I think we all know what we're talking about. Like, most of us are perfectly compatible and like-minded. I just kind of want to maybe...
wij zijn klaar.
Ja.
Anka staat voor de balkon.
Oké, kom zo.
Ja, dat is goed.
So I just kind of want to do that. There's something going on my balcony, which I have to check out. So I will stop the live stream. I love you. Thank you again for joining me today, and I will talk to you on social media. Have a great week. Hang in there, and if things get dark, I love you. So I will talk to you later. Bye bye.